Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. I just bumped my knee on this desk. You guys are going to get used to seeing me after 3 hours of sleep in. I'm sleeping whenever I get a chance. Listen, we're going to get right into these markets. We're going to talk about the FOMC meeting tomorrow, okay? And the Fed decision. Should I say the Fed decision first, the FOMC meeting, and then we're going to talk about a little crypto, okay? Let's hit that little short intro. All right, so that gave me a little chance to organize here. All right, listen, hit that like, subscribe, and that notification bell. Did I hit the right thing? There we go. Yeah, hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. Things have been falling off, that's this platform. Let's get right into it, good people. Let's see what's going on. S&P closes little change ahead of Fed decision. JP Morgan weighs in on Dow. What we got here? Stocks making biggest moves after hours. We could see GE as a Cracker Barrel. I had some of that today. All right. So we could see, this is all of the stuff. Let me talk about what I want to talk about. Okay. So let's just look at where things stand right now with the indices. Everything was pretty much flat with the S&P today. The S&P, though, it's near all-time highs. It was flat today with the Nasdaq, up. We call that green on the Nasdaq, 30 points. But you could see the Dow was down about a buck 79, right? And so there's a rhyme and a rhythm to every single FOMC meeting, every single Fed meeting. There's a rhyme and a rhythm, and sometimes I trade off of those rhythms. Now I won't be able to live a trade on tomorrow, okay? Not here or in Money Moves. I will not be able to live trade on tomorrow, but I'm going to try to front end the FOMC meeting and find some levels and tell you where I think there are some opportunities as it pertains to scalp trading, okay? So remember, you must know what you're doing to trade during the FOMC meeting. You cannot miss 1 second. You cannot get into an option. There's a saying again, only a fool trades during the FOMC meeting. You can't get into a meeting. You can't even get into an option play and go to the bathroom. Better have your phone with you. I'm just keeping it real because it gets extremely choppy really quick. Okay. So let's talk about a little crypto right quick. Bitcoin did something very interesting today. Bitcoin retraced a 94.5 position. Look at all the way to the right here, this number right there. We could see that Bitcoin today hit 94.5. It has since pulled back a little bit to 92, but it is running up based on what could happen to with the Fed, should I say. What could happen with the Fed. We see Ethereum over the last 10 days almost up 10 points. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get back to the stocks. Let's just cover this right quick. We can see that Bitcoin is up, Ethereum is up, XRP is up. At the height of the day, we could see that Bitcoin ran up 4%, Ethereum ran up 8.5%, and XRP ran up, we'll call that 5%. That's actually 4.84%. So we had some crypto movement today. And just when there's a lot of fear in the streets, we get these pumps, and we turn around and get the sell-offs, okay? The liquidations and all of that. All the while, I'm still not just hopeful. I still have my eyes on actually higher highs. I know that window of opportunity is getting smaller and smaller for us to surpass 125 on Bitcoin, okay? An alt season, that window of opportunity is even smaller. But there's still an opportunity, okay? I wish I had that clip from Dumb and Dumber, right? All right, so here's one of the things that we looked at today. And I'm going to just go into this right quick, and I want to discuss something with y'all. In Money Moves, I was looking at this today. We was looking at the SPY, and we were trying to see where it was going. I struck these lines before the market opened. If it would have went down and if it would have went up, these yellow lines represent pre-market high, pre-market low. So it hit our first level. And then I talked about Tesla because I'm getting better. I'm getting better with this, okay? And so we did the same thing with Tesla. Had it went down, we said it could have went down here, but it actually ran up and it hit all of my levels. I had 444, hit that, bam. 447.50, it hit that. And then I had 451.50, it hit that. So you could have done a call option on any of these or all three of these, and you could have made money. All right. And so I teach you how to do that in Stock Up You Good People. All right. It's all there. Come and join us, because after a while, we're just going to be going, and it won't be time to learn. It'll be time to earn. And so right now, it's time to learn. Okay. Remember, this is a slow season. This is a slow season, good people. We got low floats. We got low volatility. I'm sorry, high volatility still, but we got low volume. Why? Everybody's on vacation. Okay. Institutions, remember, they make up 80% of the pie. You and I, the retail trader, we only make 20% of the pie. And so the market is controlled. You're right, but you got to know why it's controlled. And it's not controlled just to get you. It's the way it flows, okay? And there's money to be made, right? So I want you guys to look on this tomorrow during the FOMC meeting. Sorry about that, good people. Even if you don't trade, I want you to establish a trend. Establish a trend. Because if you find a trend, the trend is your friend. When you find trends, you can make money. Markets generally react with muted or slight negative movement on the FOMC announcement day, okay, over the past year, right? Often seeing stocks dip or stay flat as investors digest the Fed's policy stance. Now, that all varies whether the Fed is in a tightening, or he's cutting or raising interest rates. It's priced in that the Fed will decrease interest rates tomorrow by 1/4 point or 25 basis points. That's priced in already. If he does not, the market will react negatively. There will be a sell-off. If he does, it's already priced in. So it's not like the Nasdaq is going to run up 1,000 points. It's not going to happen, even if he gives you the cut. Follow? So I want you to listen, or should I say look at this, because this is exactly what I've been telling you guys over at least the last 14 FOMC meetings. Rate cut, all right, rate holds/cuts. When the Fed held rates, this is based on the last year, all right, steady, like January 25th, or cut as expected, like October 2025, stocks often move lower, see here, or sideways, with volatility increasing around Chair Powell's comment. Now, we got dovish surprise and we got hawkish surprise. I want you to read this. This is important for tomorrow. Dovish surprises, fewer cuts. When projections suggest fewer rate cuts than market hopes, like in December of 2024, stocks fell. This is what I was just talking about. Sharply as investors adjust expectations for a higher for longer rate environment. Hawkish hints. What is hawkish? If the Fed gives you a hawkish cut tomorrow, that means a cut with no future cuts in sight. That's a hawkish cut. Or he cuts and then he gives you a negative forecast. That's a hawkish cut. Hawkish cuts, more cuts easing. Even small signals for future easing could lead to modest rallies, right? Like in 2025 after a dovish hint. But overall, markets react where often modest on the day of the statement itself, with the big moves often delayed. Now, here is the most important thing, and you will see the biggest movement here. Press conference during the FOMC meeting with all of the reporters with the got you questions, trying their best to bring the market down. Press conference volatility. The press conference following the statement often cause more significant market swings, up or down, than the initial statement itself. These are facts, reflecting uncertainty about the future policy and economic outlooks. Notes. So you guys have seen it over and over and over and over and over. If the market is up, the Fed says one positive thing, it goes higher. I do a call. I strike my lines like I showed you. Then when it goes up and they start asking the questions during the press conference, I'm ready to do a put. I'm rarely ready to do a call. I'm ready to do a put. And then I'll ride it back down to the put. But soon as it hits my levels, I don't get greedy. I'm out. And me personally, yes, you can make more money if you're doing options, if you have 0 DTE, or 0 days to expiration. But because the meeting is later in the day, you may have a little decay happening. And so I allow myself a few days, a day or a few days after the Fed meeting. That's what Larry does. You let me know what you do. Okay? So let's be ready for the Fed meeting. When the market reacts based on the information I gave you, you could make moves. Okay? And again, if you want to learn how to do this, then what you need to do is come over to Stock Up You. That's going to be the top link below, and use coupon code LEARN. I'm extending it. You guys know I was going to extend it, but at some point it goes away and everybody goes, I woulda, shoulda, coulda. Remember, the Fed has more meetings next year, and he's only, right now, it's priced in for him to do one more next year. I think he's in seat for 3. And all of next year, some analysts are looking for only 3 rate cuts next year. One by this Fed, and after Q1 of 2026, Fed Powell is a lame duck. Because the president, you got midterms, and the president will put a new Fed chair in Powell's place. And that Fed chair will cut. All right? All right, good people. I will see you tomorrow, sometimes during the day, and we'll go from there. Make sure you download Stock Up You and use coupon code LEARN, LEARN. Do it today. Don't delay. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. I love you guys for real. Keep us in your prayers. Live, love, laugh, and learn.